said, no questions.
Ramesh,
But yeah,
see, for example, if we want to test the equivalence value with the for exactly one value, how we will divide the data into equivalence partition?
one value means we cannot divide.
Mm,
This is only for ranges.
okay. One
So
valid and one invalid can be divided, right? If I want to
yeah,
test exactly one data,
one data means exactly we can. So
one
you
value.
have to guess it and take it. Any one data. If
Hmm.
it works, maybe it will work on all other cases. Otherwise, if it is not working on that, maybe you can guess it 30 or 40, whatever you take.
Hmm.
Because he is saying 0 to 1 to 50 characters, right? In that, any one range you can take. But that is not, so highly winning chances of, this. You cannot say bug is there or not with that range. But this equal class, the equivalence class partition should happen. So then you can take one by one so that it's you can reduce 1 to 25, 25, 26 to 50. That's a less, maybe two you can take. But with one range, and that's no very less winning chances. But yeah, you can test that with one value, maybe 50 characters you can give this. You can move on if it is working, or 45 characters or 25 characters, something like that.
No, no,
But
no, no. My question was, Ramesh, if
mhm.
if I want to check the value, if the input box or input field accepts only one number, like one or two or three, like any one number,
Mm.
that time, like if we want to divide our equivalence partition with valid and one only one invalid, two, right?
Okay. One valid and one invalid is always out of boundary. You have to take boundary conditions.
Mm.
So boundary conditions you have to
Yes.
take.
Uh,
So either empty or again that's a
yeah.
standard test case. Empty is a common test case.
Mm.
Out of
Mm.
boundary, you have to take whatever the most 50, right? 51 above whatever it is. It should not accept greater than 50.
Yeah. My
Any
like
that.
if I want to check with the exact data like this, instead of like ranging, how
Exact data means again you have to come to boundary value analysis. That will show you boundary value analysis. There is a
mm,
middle value, one middle value exactly. Any
mhm.
one you can take. So let me explain. Maybe that will clear your doubt. Okay. So boundary means obviously at the
I
boundaries
think better
exactly.
like any one sample we can take any data so that we can it will be easy for us to understand.
Which data? This one.
Yeah, regarding that, Ramesh, like suppose right now we are taking the boundary, right? So one is with valid, another one any one scenario
Where you are asking equivalence class
for
partitioning or
equivalence class partition, equivalence partition.
so you can go to any website which is having a range, like password will be there generally, right? So you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
go that you can take it out.
Okay, got it.
So let me IRCTC something.
Now boundary means like if you want to take the data 1 to 50, one is a lower bound and 550 is the upper bound. That is called boundary.
Right. But in between also you can take.
Yeah.
So
Well, between 1 to 50, if you take any data, that is a boundary data.
see here they will tell here the password length you will have in the requirements. What is the length of this password? Okay, suppose here we are coming, right? The password should accept maybe like this. You have the conditions. The conditions will be like that. Password accept 6 to 12 characters. So this is the range. So in this is the minimum and this is the maximum. Okay. So there is a formula for to generate the test case. 6 values you can generate out of this boundary conditions. What is that? Minimum value, one you have to take one test case, minimum plus one, minimum minus one. So for minimum, you will get a 3 values. For maximum also, you will get 3 values. Total 6 boundary values you need to test it. If there is a boundary conditions are there for any field, any input field. This is the boundary value analysis and equivalence class partitioning only for input fields where you can enter the data, not for any other fields. You can apply only these two techniques, input boxes. Input boxes means wherever it, so this is the input box. This is the input box. These cases only will use, not in other cases. Right?
Okay.
So maybe if I give this, I have given valid, so that's why it will log in obviously. Okay. So I have given, so valid, that's why it will log in obviously. So then you can go to maybe some dashboards, right? Here we have a, so leave. You can perform a search here. So with the different input, employee name, you can give employee name, but there is no range here. You can give anything. So like this, you are giving, keep on giving the max, and it will say simply see invalid parameter, right? This is how you will get. This should get is highlighting a red color and you are getting a error message also. So if you are giving a more than the whatever the input you need to provide. So such kind of cases, the boundary conditions you can test. So how to test is that these techniques you will apply. So 6 values you need to test. If there is a range here, now it is a range. See, you need to test it a 6 value, 7 and 5. 5 is the invalid because as per this condition, 5 is invalid, and 7 is in between 6 and 12. And 6 is so exactly minimum boundary. So 12 you will get a here max, and 13 is out of boundary, and 11 is inside the boundary. So 13 is invalid, 5 is invalid, lowest invalid, and this is the maximum side invalid. Remaining all are valid. So these 6 values you need to test for this password because they have given this requirement. And again, you have to write extra test cases. So leave the password field blank.
Mummy,
And test password should display in encrypted format. So you have to see whether the password is going in encrypted format or not. You need to see that. When you type, it should, so asterisk format, it should display. So Muni, you can check here. So in between, you can take one and test it.
time అవుతుంది పో.
And 12 in between, 7 or 10, you can take one and you can test it. So that's the one. When one invalid, you can take out of boundary or in, so inside the boundary. Any one, you can test it. But here, you have to test both here. So maybe they might accept if the developer misses this. He is accepting from 1 to say 1 to 12, then that's a problem. So as per this requirement, I'm talking about as per this requirement, if he misses this 6 and he has given 1 to 12 characters, that means even also he will accept. That kind of, you can do that. There are chances. In order to catch all such kind of issues, you have to follow these formulas. Same here, I have listed out all the test cases. So see that what is the condition? These are the conditions, requirements that the developer has given, requirements given by product owner or business analyst. What is this telling? Password field accepts 6 to 12 characters. Password should contain at least one uppercase letter. Password should contain at least one number. Password should contain at least one special character. That means if your password is a valid password, the password must contain one uppercase, one number, one special. Then only it is valid. All other combination, it's not valid. And also the length should be between either 6 or 12, in between that. Then only it is valid. All other cases, it is invalid. So based on this requirement conditions, you need to write the test cases. You need to generate more test cases. How can we generate? So verify, see that I'm just showing how to write the test cases, such kind of requirements. This is the requirement the customer has given. How you can design the test cases for this? See, there are more. Always think the requirement always has a positive and negative test cases. So positive means valid data. Negative means it can be invalid data, wrong data, or missing data. So any of these things all comes under invalid. Then how the application behavior, you need to check that. That's why we'll write in detailed test cases. So they have given only here 3 requirements, 4 requirements. But for this, you have to write more test cases. You need to generate more detailed test cases. So how many ways you can test, that will be explained by the test case. Say test case designing, verify entering invalid password less than 6 characters. See, generic terminology I have used. The one test case. This is the one test case. So verify entering invalid password more than 12 characters. This is another test case. This is also negative test case. These are all. Verify leaving the password field blank. Verify entering valid data in the password. Valid data means these 3 conditions must met and the length also should meet there. Then only you can say that's a valid. So and then verify entering only numbers. Only numbers means these 2 are missing, right? This one and this one is missing. That means the condition is not met in your test case. So that means invalid. Verify entering only alphabets. Verify entering only special characters. Verify entering only alphanumerics, alphabets and special characters. Verify entering numbers and special characters. Verify entering without uppercase letter. So this is the combination of basically a probability, right? So different combinations we need to apply to design the test cases here. So that's how you can generate more test cases. So based on these techniques. So these techniques only apply on the whenever there is an edit box and this kind of ranges are there. So if ranges are not there, you can ask what is the length of this field, okay? You are telling employee name, what is the length of employee name? So you should ask what is the length, generic length, okay, what is that? So they will definitely know, developer must know this. What is the length they are providing? That length you take. Okay. Now, so like that you can write more test cases. And one more exercise for you guys. Tomorrow you need to write and send me these test cases. So everything similar must contain 6 to 12 characters. Must contain both upper and lower case characters. Must contain numeric characters. Must contain special characters. Should not contain username, first name, last name. That means, what is that? Your password should not contain username, first name, last name. All 3 should not contain. Or in at least this is there, that's a wrong password. If this is the wrong password, this is the wrong password. So that's the how you can write the test case. So I added till here you have test cases already. But for this, you don't have. So please write the test cases for all these conditions, how we can generate the test cases. Is there any doubts on writing the test cases? Any doubts? And same, write the test case for mobile number. I have given few here and you write more. So I want to see how many can write more test case for mobile number. You all know mobile number, how it will be and how you will test it. So just add the test case designing. This is how you need to start test case writing. So that's all a boundary value analysis means. See, testing the application exactly at inside and outside boundary values is called boundary value testing. So it is basically it performed to find the defects at the boundary values. So how the range is maintained by developer, so that you can catch the bugs with this boundary value analysis. And formula you remember. So minimum plus 1, minimum minus 1, maximum plus 1, maximum minus 1. That's the value for boundary value analysis. So this is the again for edit boxes only. These two techniques are only for edit boxes. Wherever input boxes are there, for them only you can apply these two techniques. Not for date, not for date also you can apply, but the range again. Here also if it range is there, you can apply, but not for these drop downs. Not for the drop downs. Right? For this, you cannot, there is no range here. So only ranges will be there in the edit box. Okay? Yeah. Any questions? Tomorrow we'll start the remaining decision table testing, and I'll explain tomorrow. So 2 or 3 more are there, then we can finish the white box testing also. Maybe I supposed to show here today Zira, but yeah, we missed that. I'll show you tomorrow. So all backlog, product backlog. So I'll show you product backlog and everything. So it is everything ready, and you can watch that. So I'll create a sprint also in front of you. Once these techniques are done, we'll go to that Zira directly. Yeah. Any questions before closing?